Welcome to day 4 of our Growing and Getting It Done challenge. I appreciate you guys participating. This is day 4. I appreciate you guys tuning in to days 1, 2, and 3, and I hope each and every one of you are doing your homework. I want to give a little shout out to Miss Lynette, one of my avid followers. I thank you for all of your comments and your feedback. And I'm encouraging everyone else to drop me a comment, leave me some notes. Feel free to put your homework in there like she does. She's my girl, and I can always count on her to participate with what I got going on. But again, like I said, this is day 4. And for this one, they call it aging. I call it arriving. And this is just some of the things that comes along with age. I know many of you realize that I had a birthday last Friday. I have taken one more trip around the sun, and each and every year I do a little reset, and I decided to do a 10-day challenge and take you guys with me. So here we go. They call it aging. I call it arriving. Now, it's a joy to love the skin that you're in. You must embrace the way you look. It's so important for you to pay attention to how you feel and let go of societal expectations. All of us want to be beautiful. All of us want to look good, but we got to make sure that we understand this aging process and what comes along with this. And there's so many things that people, don't always tell us about. Some older adults experience a shift in physical and mental abilities. I don't have any really physical limitations, but my knees do hurt a little bit. It takes me a little bit longer to get up and sit down than it used to. There's a creak here and there's a creak there. Got a real funny story. My doctor sent me for a stress test last week, and that doggone treadmill almost took me out. I was only on it for 9 minutes, but I had a wake-up call that your girl is not in the shape that she thought she was. So I know that I got to get back out there. I got to start back walking for cardio and less for just, leisure, entertainment and things like that. I think my mental state is good to go. I am a little bit forgetful from time to time. I'll walk into a room and, completely forget what I was going in there for and then have to turn around and come back. But at the end of the day, I'm not having any real memory issues. The hardest thing for me is to keep this weight off with this slow metabolism. But maybe if I get my heart rate up a little more often, like I did on that treadmill, I won't have to worry about those things. I deal with a few aches and pains and a little bit of brain fog every now and then. But for the most part, for a 56-year-old, I'm doing just fine. And I've only been 56 for a few days, but I'm doing just fine. Thus the reason for this reset. I'm going to do a detox over the next 14 days and a little reset to try to eliminate some of the sugar in my diet, because your girl has been, eating cake and going to brunch and drinking champagne and, doing all the things. So, I have to be mindful. My birthday celebration is over, and I got to get back to the business that I need to get back to. And in saying that, sometimes when you age, you have different dietary needs. There's some things that you used to tear up that you just can't eat anymore. I don't typically indulge in a lot of red sauce. I try to stay away from dairy. I love, pizza and, stuff like that. So I do consume a little bit more cheese than I would like to. But, I'm really trying to be mindful, because your body will tell you when things no longer agree with you. And even though these taste buds, want it, you shouldn't always just, continue to eat things if they don't make you feel good. Some people experience change in sleep habits. And there's sometimes a need, for an afternoon nap that we didn't, used to have to take. And, I'm one of those people. And when I'm sleepy, I'm going to lay down. I don't have no real set bedtime, but most of you know that, at 10 o'clock, I'm winding down and shutting it down. And if I don't have anything going on and I want to go to bed before that, I will definitely do that as well. Now, there are also a few things about aging, or arriving, as I like to say. And there's a greater sense of self-acceptance. We know more about ourselves, and we have accepted things, for what they are going to be and how they're going to go. And self-acceptance, is a big deal. Self-awareness is a big deal. Knowing where you are and where you want to go, that's huge. And I, would encourage each of you to do a little bit of reflection on, who you are and what you like to see, happen for you over the next year. There's also an increased confidence in decision making. I talked about this a little bit last week when I said that, I'm finally trusting my voice. I believe in what I say. I know that I know what I'm talking about. So there is definitely an increased level of confidence in the decisions that I make. And older adults often find a deeper appreciation for life because there is a greater awareness of our own mortality. And we realize that, the time that we have left is precious. I probably have more time behind me than I have ahead of me because at this point I'm 56. So to do it all over again, I'd have to be, 112. And, who wants to live to be 112? I just want to be fine and fabulous, for the rest of my life. And when my number's up, I want to, leave here and go on to the next thing, whatever that is, whether it's glory, with the good Lord or, something different. None of us know. Nobody's been around to provide us with the information as to what happens when we cease to exist in this body. But while I'm here, I am going to take care of me. I'm going to take care of myself. I'm not going to worry about getting older or aging. I am going to continue to thrive. You know what's funny? When my mom turned 75, she said, I really just don't even feel no different. And I thought, you got to be kidding. You 75. I know you feel different. But the truth of the matter is, I don't feel any different at 40 than I did at 50. And I hit 55 and now I'm 56. And I don't feel no different today than I did last week or the week before that. I just recognize that, I've taken another trip around the sun. And I need to pay attention to what's going on with me. I don't need to put things off. I need to do it when my mind is on it and when I feel led to do it. Because, even for young people, tomorrow isn't promised. We should never put off for tomorrow what we can accomplish and do today. And that is exactly what I plan to do. And that's what I encourage my season gang to do. Don't let anything limit you. Please, please, please take care of yourself. Limit the caffeine and the sugar and, the overexposure, to the sun, and take care of your mental. Be mindful of what you watch on TV and what you scroll on the internet. Don't let people upset you and cause you to, be in a tizzy or a frenzy over things that you ultimately have zero control over. Now, I told you guys in the last videos that one video builds off of the other, and each one has a little small homework assignment. So our homework assignment for day 4 is very easy. I want you to list 3 things that you love about being your age. It could be physical, it could be emotional, it could be spiritual, it could be, your attitude. It can be whatever you want it to be. But I want you to list those 3 things. I love for you to drop them in the comments and just let me know what are 3 things that, you just feel really glad about at this stage in your life. You can jot them down in a journal, put a note on your phone, write it down on a little piece of paper, put it in the comments. Do it however you want to do it. Because when one of us puts something down, it sometimes gives, others an opportunity or something else to think about. Now, this is day 4 of the challenge. We are coming up on the midway point, and I want to thank each and every one of you for being here with me and for participating, in this effort with me. I want us to continue to do better together and just continue to ride this wave and age and arrive and do all the things that I know that together we can do without any problem. So make sure your notifications are on. You're subscribed to the channel. Do your homework. Drop me a comment. And until tomorrow, I will see you soon. Season Lady signing out. Toodles.